This is Rowan County's Confederate Monument, commonly known as the Fame Monument. Fame was commemorated on North Carolina's Confederate Memorial Day, May 10th, 1909, in historic Salisbury, North Carolina. She is cradling a dying soldier in one hand, while the other arm and hand is outstretched holding a laurel wreath. Christian Ternan, a local poet and chief catalyst for the monument, said to the crowd gathered that day, "As the statue soldier sinks in dying, a splendid form has swept to the earth, to bear him in her clasp. 'Tis glory, with a laurel wreath of fame within her grasp." I turn now to Salisbury the town in order to provide historical context in terms of its role in the Civil War and why it was an appropriate site for the famed Confederate monument. Salisbury was home to the Confederate War Prison in North Carolina. Shortly, you will see an illustration showing prisoners playing baseball early in the war. After the end of the Civil War, the grounds of the prison were incorporated into a national cemetery. The prison gained an infamous reputation for its high mortality rate, especially between the years 1864 to 1865, its last year in operation, in which 11,700 soldiers died. Former prisoner wrote this: "I've seen 100 heroes with staring and stony eyes, ragged, dirty, and hideous, skeleton-like corpses, piled one upon another, like butchered hogs in a packing establishment, until the growing earth, always actively employed, should bear them to the shallow trenches." The dead were commemorated by the federal monument you just saw and a plaque dedicated in 1992 by the United Daughters of the Confederacy. The dirt you see is intentionally left bare to mark the spot in which thousands of men were buried in mass and whose identities are forever lost to time. On May 10, 1909, the town of Salisbury celebrated the monument in what is now the town's historic district between Innes and Church Streets. By recorded accounts of the day, it was a gala affair. Many speeches were made as the Cavaliers' glee played. On the front side of the Fame Monument are words that recall sacrifice. These words are inscribed into a pedestal, which is made from locally quarried pink granite, in memory of Rowan's Confederate soldiers, that their heroic deeds, sublime self-sacrifice, and undying devotion to duty and country may never be forgotten. 1861 to 1865. Rowan County contributed significantly to the Confederate States of America. Of the 2,500 active duty soldiers Rowan County produced, 652 lost their lives, and 1,309 were wounded. According to the Salisbury Post, these numbers are among the highest casualty and wounded rates of any county in North Carolina. Fame was commissioned by the Major General Robert F. Hoke, chapter of the United Daughters of the Confederacy. The United Daughters of the Confederacy, or UDC, is the oldest Southern women's organization in America. They're dedicated to the memory of their ancestors by protecting, preserving and marking the places made historic by Confederate valor. They chose for the artist F.W. Ruckstahl, a famous European artist of the day. At the monument's unveiling, conservative virtues and values were celebrated. The celebration included a parade, a crowd of 4,000, with 162 Confederate States of America veterans on hand. A former Confederate general spoke of the war in terms of sacrifice and the war being waged to preserve states' rights. General Young said that it's taken 30 years to truly give the state its just and proper place in the splendid galaxy of heroic sacrifice. Over time, the public has come to view the Muse as an angel. At other times, over the past 100 years, the monument's been publicly referred to as a kind of anachronism for Southerners of another generation. The monument has weathered challenges to remove it. In fact, it was painstakingly restored and rededicated with much fanfare in 1991. The restoration was accomplished in part by donations from the James F. Hurley Foundation, who incidentally is also the publisher of the major newspaper in Salisbury, the Salisbury Post. While the public in general is unaware that the monument is not an angel, as a former UDC president said, "I think we want it to be an angel. Anything else would not vindicate the South." While the original meaning of the symbols may have faded from common memory, I do think the UDC has been successful and has lived up to their slogan, "Nothing is ended until it is forgotten. That which is held in memory still endures and is real." On the very back of the famed monument reads the Latin saying, "Dio Vindice," which means, "God our Vindicator." Those same words adorn the bottom of the official seal of the government of the Confederate States of America.
Spur on, we love the bounding of barbs that bear us to the fray. The charge, our bugles now are sounding, and our bold steward leads the way. The path of honor lies before